Hello, Jill. How are you?
Good, Diane. I'm good, thank you. And you?
Good, thank you. So, to the ladies watching this video, Jill is an integral part of Girl Boss Hustle. She's the lady who keeps me on my toes, and Janine, who is the founder of Girl Boss Hustle, on her toes. And she's also the lady who creates all the amazing Facebook posts that you see, and really is, I would say, the backbone of Girl Boss Hustle. So, Jill is the CEO of Abstract Admin. And as I love, Jill always talks about the fact that she's a time creator. And what I want to do today is just have Jill introduce herself to you in this month of women and talking about powerful women. So I thought, well, there's nothing better than to start with a powerful woman who's on our team. So, Jill, first question for you. Can you tell us about the moment your business was born?
Sure. So at the beginning of last year, I decided to step out of the clock in and clock out environment. I'd been a personal PA at executive level for about 20 odd years. So I really was tired. I wasn't available to my family at all. It was chaos. I was also working at a school where my sons would come and say, "Mom, do you know it's getting dark outside? We need to go home."
Yeah.
So I realized that, especially with Josh having left matric and doing his first year of varsity, that I hadn't been available for Caleb, my youngest, at all. He'd kind of tagged on wherever his brothers were, and I needed to get away. But I also knew 110% that I didn't want to be a full-time mom at home, just doing kid stuff and land up being my husband's personal PA. That was definitely not for me.
That, my love, is a recipe for disaster. Being a husband.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
We'll do a whole live about that later in the month, all right?
So I decided in that moment that I needed to rest and recoup and realign myself with the things that really, really mattered to me. And then, so I took some time, and then I realized that I have all these skills and I can make a life that works for me using the skills that I've acquired over what feels like a bazillion years in corporate and education. And I could make a life that create a time for me to be available for Caleb. And that was the biggest swing for me. That was the biggest swing factor as to why I decided to launch Abstract Admin. So that's it.
Lovely, lovely. And I love the way you talk about that. You kind of needed to recoup and reflect and just step back and look and say to yourself, these are actual skills that I have, because I wonder how many women out there don't think that they have any skill.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I think we put in a box very oftentimes, and we are relegated to this is what you can do and this is what you can't do.
And I think sometimes we tell ourselves that.
No, I do. I think we are sometimes our absolute worst nightmare. We tell ourselves all the things that we can't do instead of being brave enough to stand up and say, I might not know how to do this, but I'm going to find a way, and I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to research, and I'm going to get in touch with people who can help me do that which I need to do.
Exactly, exactly. So if I had to ask you this, tell us, what problem do you solve and the people that you do it for?
So I really enjoy working with heart-centered entrepreneurs, especially female heart-centered entrepreneurs. And that for me means that your heart is invested in your business, but more importantly, that you are in the game of empowerment. So you empower others to step into their space and own their space in whatever shape or form that may be. You may be a beautiful woman who creates the most stunning clothes that make women feel amazing. You are allowing her to step into her power. You might be someone who has a home industry and you are providing meals so that the mother of the home doesn't have to think about it. You are allowing her to step into her power. And so that for me is who I want to serve and why. And beyond that, I create the time. So it's not your zone of genius, let's face it. Social media is not your zone of genius. Managing a calendar or chasing emails or whatever is really not your zone of genius. Your zone of genius, Diane, is helping us do strategy, figure out how to do the stuff we need to do in our business. And when you are focused on having to divide your time between putting your courses and things together that empower other women, you are not having the time to actually dedicate to your business. So I take those pesky little things away from you that you don't enjoy doing, but that I do enjoy doing. And that's how I managed to create time.
And that you're brilliant at. That you're brilliant at. All right. So I want to just say this for everybody listening, from somebody who's worked with Gill. I think one of the things that I really love about working with Gill is that she has this ability to, number one, listen properly. And number two, you only need to work with Gill 2 or 3 times and she knows what you're looking for. It's not this constant you having to tell it. She just taps in to that. And I think that speaks to the heart-centered, because you're also heart-centered. You know what I mean? Yep. And yeah. And ladies, yep. I'm a big proponent of work on your business and not in your business, as you all know. And Gill takes that, you know what I mean? She loves that. She loves working in her business, in your business, right? To allow you to work on your business. So let's ask you this one, Gill. What's been your biggest lesson in business?
That I can be imperfectly me. I can be imperfectly perfect. I can be a woman who doesn't get it right every day, but strives to get it right every day. I'm allowed to be that person, and that I'm allowed to not get it right and have a complete and utter awful down party today, but I pick myself up again tomorrow and we start again. And if I don't have my brave big girl panties on today, that's okay. They'll be there ready and waiting for me for tomorrow.
That's so incredible, because I don't think corporate allows you to do that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, and it is about being imperfect. It's about saying, I'm going to do this, and if I fall flat on my face, well, then I fall flat on my face, and it's just a learning. So I take it I'm not going to see perfect posts from Gill on Facebook on her own business profile. I'm going to see the real.
You will really see the real. The problem is Gill has been so busy in everybody else's business that she has neglected her own. So she may very well need to hire her own person to take that over from her one of these fine days.
Wealth creation, lady. Wealth creation. All right.
I think it's the circle of life, right? The cobbler's children never had shoes. I'm an electrician's wife, and more often than not, my electricity leaves a lot to be desired. So I think it's just the circle of life that you are continually, my heart is in helping you. And so I land up doing for you more than I ever do for me. So it's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, and I think we need to I think I'm making a note of that, because I think that's something so many of us do. And I think it's something we need to talk a bit about in the group this month and ongoing. This thing about parking myself and my business for my clients, right? Yeah, there's some cool stuff I can share around that. So let's end with this one. If I said to you, give one tip or piece of advice to the amazing women in Girl Boss Hustle, what would you say to them?
I would say probably 2 things. I would say that you need a plan, because if you don't set a plan at the beginning of the month, you are dead in the water. That maybe 3 things. Your calendar is your best friend. Schedule everything, including your walk in the garden break, including your tea break. It is your best friend. The calendar is your best friend. And 3rd, remember to breathe. Just breathe. Yeah. It's okay. It will come. Just breathe. And a very good friend of mine and somebody that I love working with says, and she's often said, where there's one, there's more.
Where there's one, there's more. So I'm giggling because I am normally so good with my calendar, and in July I wasn't. All right. I don't have it yet, but I was running 3 calendars at the same time. And it was a monumental screw up. All right. So in actual fact, if I showed you, and I don't have it, as I said, but this month, everything, including the exercise, has gone in the calendar. Do you know what I mean? Like And I so agree with you, because it just is, as a business owner, it's your time is money, and you need to figure out, and protecting your energy is so critical. And I think sometimes that's the stuff that we're not doing, right? So Joel, last question, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Abstract Admin. You can find me on my personal Facebook page, which is Gillian Jorgenson, or on my website, which is www.abstractadmin.co.za.
Great. Thanks for your time. And your ladies, look out for Jill. Hey, you'll see. It always says Gillian has posted this. Now that you've met her, engage with her, because I know sometimes it's difficult. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't met the person and you're like, okay, I'm a little bit nervous. No, you've met her now. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, Jill.
And you, Da. Take care. Bye-bye.